I wish I had my Apple Watch on me just to see my heart rate. It'd be pretty interesting to see what's going on there. But it's a special moment. I just want to take this time to say, it's a huge privilege, it's an honor, and I want to thank everybody involved for this. I also want to appreciate everyone who, has been so, they've been so concerned with me since the slapping up against the wall from the Blue Man Group, and you've come to me and you say, man, are you okay? And I mean, I'm sore, my back's getting better, but that was a lot of fun. Thanks again, Home Office. I was asked to talk about overcoming your fear or a struggle or hurdle. I mean, I don't care how you want to slice and dice it. Everybody in here has something that you're going, you got something that you're stuck with. There's something that's holding you back. There's something that you're afraid of. That's a normal thing. It's how you get through it is the key. And I'm going to start off with my story first. I mean, after high school, I was doing what a lot of people were doing, and that was studying a list of things I can go study for 4 or 5 years and then hopefully practice for 30, stick with it for 30, 40 years and get a good job and maybe save enough money and all that stuff. And so I started looking at a list of things, and I'm looking at doctor and lawyer and school teacher and mechanic, and I thought, what the heck, let's go with engineering. It sounded fun. I had some cousins doing it, so what the heck. So I signed up at U of A in Edmonton. It took me 5.5 years to get through a 4-year program. I had a bit of extra fun at school, so that's why. And I spent some extra student loan money that my parents weren't very impressed about that meeting. But and you know what? I got a job. I couldn't find any work in Edmonton, so I moved to Calgary, started handing out some resumes. Didn't know anybody there. I had an uncle I knew. I stayed with him. And I got lucky. I got a job. I built the Hyde Hotel, the Telus of the Convention Center. I was there for 5.5 years. I was putting in 60 hours a week. I was getting paid for 40. That sucked. I was working with some people there who weren't as qualified as me, yet they were making more than me, and they were passing me up for promotion. And I was getting confused about the career choice. I wasn't sure what was going on. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I started to question the next 30, 40 years. And I got some advice from a friend of mine, and I'll give you the same advice. For those of you that have a job, I'm speaking to you right now. And he told me to go and interview my future. And I'm like, explain what you mean by that. He goes, I want you to go to work tomorrow, and I want you to go and interview all the people doing the same thing that you're doing, 15 years longer than you, 30 years longer, because that's where you're headed. And if you like that, then settle in. If you don't, then you got to make some changes. You got to change the car. And I'll challenge you to go do that. Is go and interview some people that have been doing what you're doing 20 years longer than you. And I'll tell you, if you don't like what you're doing, you better start making some changes fast. I saw these guys were overworked, they were underpaid, they were spending less and less time with their kids, they were away from their family, supposed to put in 40 hours, now they're putting in 60, 80, stressed out, they got a couple weeks holidays, probably not making a lot of money, paying too much tax, still having to go to another human being and asking for a raise, still having to go to another human being and asking them for time off, and that other human being would tattoo their forehead saying, I think you're worth 60 grand this year, so let's get started. And I'm going, I want nothing to do with that. And that's when I got invited to a BPM about 16 years ago. It was from my dad. I'm so grateful. Not going to go there. It's been huge for us. And I sat in that BPM and I just saw something. I saw a chance to go and win. I saw a chance to, just to get educated. I saw a chance to save some money. I saw a chance to start performing where I wanted to perform. And I saw a lot of things. I saw a whole bunch of things in that meeting, but I'm telling you, I was scared, and you guys are scared too. I'm speaking to the new people. That's what I'm talking to. Because there's something holding you back. There's something that is robbing you of a great life. There's some whole bunch of things that are robbing you of spending time with your kids the way that you want to. And I'm telling you, you have to win that battle. Instead of that thing on the sheet winning the battle, you have to win that battle. And I'm sitting in that meeting going, man, I'm scared I'm going to have to quit my job because I was going to have to do that. I was all in after the meeting. I go up to the guy. I'm like, I'm in. He's like, no, you're not. You have to quit your job first. Then we'll get you fast started. I'm like, quit my job? I can't spell any of this stuff you guys are talking about. I'm not from here. I'm making 60 grand as an engineer. I just got married and I have to quit my job. He's like, that's exactly what I just told you. So I was scared of that. I was scared. I didn't know anybody in that city. I was scared of I didn't have the knowledge. I was scared of rejection. I was scared of possibly losing some friends. I was scared of what others would think. I was scared. I had a lot of things going on, right? And I want you to take a moment right now on a sheet of paper. I want you to write down the 2 or 3 things that come to mind that you're afraid of, things that you think are holding you back, things that are anchors in your back. I want you to look at that sheet right now and ask yourself, who's going to win the fight? Is it that on the sheet, or are you going to go and win that fight? And I'll tell you, I was sick and tired of losing a battle to something that was my biggest fear, which was I was going to have to do something I hadn't done a whole bunch of my life, which is talking. Right? I mean, I don't know if I was born with it, if I developed it, right? You probably can't tell right now. It's one of those lucky moments for me, right? But I was born with a stuttering impediment. I don't know if you know what it's like to have a stutter, if you've met someone, right? If you meet someone that does, I ask you to be patient with those people. They got something in there that they're trying to get out. They have greatness in them, but it's just not coming out that they want, right? It's stuck. It's just not coming out that they... So, I mean, I was scared about speaking. Right? I mean, I remember at school, I'd go to school, I'd stand in front of the crowd, I'd have to read out of a book and it wouldn't come out. And I'd stutter and people would laugh at me and school teachers would laugh at me. I'll never forget the day, I was 13 years old, I decided that day, that'll never, ever happen again, and I shut down speaking. I shut down speaking, right? I was worried about the day of my wedding at 13, I was worried about that day. I'd watched uncles get married, they'd stand at the end, they'd thank their family. I didn't want anything to do with that, and that's what I was thinking about my wedding at 13, right? And I mean, still to this day, as I'm speaking to you, I'm scanning ahead 5, 6 words to anticipate if I'm getting stuck on a word or not, and if I think I will, I'll switch the word. That's how I operate. That's how I get on the phone. It's a battle every single flipping day. But you know what? Whatever you're going through, I'm just telling you, I don't know any science behind it. You just got to do it. You just got to, it's either you do it or you don't do it. I don't know what to tell you. I still struggle. I have bad days. I have good days. Talk to my family. Sometimes my brother's like, come on. Right? I cause my friends expensive phone bills because I just spend more time talking when like sometimes it doesn't come out. But, I was scared to go through my life and have the music still in me. I had greatness. You have greatness in you, and don't let that get caught in you. Just go and get that thing out. I'm so glad this platform gave me the confidence to go and get it out, right? I was scared one day of having to face my kids in the face and go, our family's not winning because dad had a stutter. Right? I just didn't want to ever face that day, and I don't think you guys want to face that day either. So there's 4 things that had helped me. 1, I had clear goals. I spent a lot of time on my goals. There was a lot of times I'd have my goals and my phone, and I'd stare at my goals, I'd stare at that heavy phone, back to the goals, and I battled every single day. But you just did it. You just got through it. And sometimes it was good, sometimes it was ugly, right? That's the second point, you just have to do it. The third, I didn't want to use it as an excuse. I'd bump into somebody that had something way worse off, and I would feel sick to my stomach that I used the stutter as an excuse. 4, there was never going to be a human being hold it over my head saying, I knew this wasn't for you. I knew you couldn't do it. I'll tell you, that makes me sick. There was never ever going to be a single human being on planet Earth say, I told you so. Right? This was not for you. Right? So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm just struggle forward with your fear, struggle forward with your hurdles, struggle forward with what it is, and it'll be so worth it for you and your family. Thank you very much.